Once you get to 30 and up, that's the real game. Because that's when everybody, that's when motherfuckers either destroy their lives or they're actually headed in the right direction, That's what it's really all about.
Hey, and that's facts.
All right,
That's how we start the show.
Let's split.
We're back. It's a new week. I'm still hungover from Saturday. I'm here with my boy Schup.
Let's go.
It's the Chuck&Schup show.
It is indeed the Chuck&Schup show. We got a lot on topic for today. NBA Finals are in full swing.
Yes,
Who
sir.
has the advantage?
Yes, sir.
It's still 1-1. We will see. I mean, we got the Rangers in the Stanley Cup. Possibly.
We'll see.
But can they keep up the Lightning? But we begin today with our least favorite quarterback in the NFL, Deshaun Watson. So just when we thought this report couldn't get any more wild, he apparently had 66 different masseuses over a course of 4 different months. And the worst part about this entire story, if you didn't hear about it, so Watson had, in addition to the 24 sexual assault cases, he had almost 50 plus more masseuses who didn't say shit. And the worst part about it is some of the masseuses involved in this were set up by the Houston Texans. So even the Houston Texans were now involved. I mean, the Houston Texans are like, fuck it, we shipped it to the Browns, whatever.
Fuck. But still.
But Chuck, I know you've got a lot to say on this, but I want to start off with this.
I'm disgusted.
The NFL has to do something, right?
I mean, absolutely. Why haven't they done something already? I mean, wasn't it in the beginning? Wasn't it 16? Started out with 16 cases or something like that. I don't remember the number, but it was lower than 66. And then now it's confirmed. There has to be something that needs to be done. I mean, and now that they're saying the Texans are involved. I mean, there has to be repercussions for both that team and Deshaun Watson, immediately. Why is he given the opportunity to get money, by the Browns? Why is this still a thing? Why is he still on an NFL roster, technically? There has to be something that needs to be done, immediately, because it is disgusting.
Dude, you know what pissed me off?
It's disgusting.
There's so many things that pissed me off about this whole situation, but the Cleveland Browns said that they did their due diligence before signing him and giving him this record money. What are they talking about? I mean, maybe it's newly available information, but oh, come on. You literally may have run your franchise into the ground, because what may happen now, they might be able to void that contract, but it's $230 million guaranteed. NFL has some top-notch lawyers and shit. They might be losing all that money, and they might have lost their previous franchise quarterback in the process. So
yeah,
it's step one on how to ruin your franchise. But Chuck, let's put all this aside in terms of what's going on here.
Yeah,
what
disgusting.
What do you think the NFL is actually going to do? Not what you want them to do, but what are they actually going to do in this situation?
I mean, I hope he gets. You think that the right thing to do, or what do you think the NFL does?
Well, we all know what the right thing to do. He should be banned from the NFL for life.
Yeah, for life. For life.
But what will they do? What do you think they will do, knowing his NFL's history?
They'll probably, in realistic terms, he'll probably settle. Maybe with all 66 of those cases, right? He'll do a settlement. I think that maybe this is probably me being out of the blue, but this is probably worst case scenario. There'll be a settlement. He'll get a 2-year ban or something, and then he'll just come back, maybe a Michael Vick story, but worse. Because I could also see that happening. If he has the money and the lawyers to do it, or he's fucked and he's out, and I hope he's banned, and I hope I never see him on the field.
If he gets away with this,
there are a lot of corrupt things out in this world.
If he gets away with this, when at this point it's almost blatant. If you're going out and seeking that many massages, and then all these stories that are coming out. All these stories that have been coming out, which I'm not going to repeat on this because we are a mostly PG show, sorry for the cursing, but some of the stuff that's been coming out is way too oddly specific, and You know what? I'm gonna mention one of the stories just because I'm sure
please
you.
go
I'm
ahead.
sure you would like to
Enlighten me.
hear.
Enlighten me.
So he was in some yoga pose with one of the masseuses, right? He had his feet like by his head, basically. So like you kind of see like his is like showing.
Yeah.
And then so he wanted the masseuse to quote lick the area in between one hole and the other extremity. So she laughed. She's like, "That's ridiculous. Why would I do that?" Apparently, he grabbed her wrist and put it there.
All right.
That's one story out of so many more. Some actually involve like forcefully like. It's not even worth getting into. But
Yeah,
the bottom,
so I'm gonna take back what I said. Like, he's getting banned. He's gonna get banned. If he doesn't get banned, that's fucked up.
it's too
My
many.
scenario would work.
It's too many women that would have to make up too many stories
You
trying to
just don't
vilify
make that
one
up.
guy.
And you don't make that up. You can't make up that story.
Why would 65 women banned against one person unless they actually did something wrong?
Yeah.
You know what?
It's disgusting.
I'm tired of talking about Watson. He doesn't deserve my attention.
Yeah, I think
anymore.
I've heard Watson all day on the radio every day. It's crazy. Today, all day on the radio.
Stupid. But you know, we got some big playoff games coming up, and we love to get to NBA. We talked about NBA a lot, but I want to get to some NHL really quick.
Yeah,
so,
100%.
I'm not the most knowledgeable about hockey, but I have acknowledged before that the hockey playoffs are the most exciting playoffs among all four sports, just because of the constant action and how like open the series are between the two teams at all times. Chuck, I know you're a big Rangers fan. From following the action that you've seen, it seems like the home teams are training games. Does that mean the Rangers in 7? Is that unlocked?
Now, I want to put this on the record. I'm not a Rangers fan. Devils fan.
Me too.
Devils fan.
Good.
But my premise is New York needs a championship. I'm tired of seeing like Boston, everything. You know, phone malfunction. It's all right. I'm tired of seeing Boston championships won every year at some type of sport. We got one right now. It's New York Rangers. I'm a Devils fan. I get it. I'm gonna hear backlash, but the Rangers need to lock this up right now. So they look like the favorite, but the two-time Tampa Bay Lightning, they just tied it up. So it's this next game. This is the one. You got to if you're a Rangers fan and you're going to that game, they got to win that game at the Garden. And then maybe they lose in Tampa, but I want to see this game go to 7.
Wow, I actually think that's kind of nuts. So the last New York championship was 2012 when the New York Giants won, if I'm being correct.
100%.
And
You are correct.
so we're so starved for a champion that we are now pulling for opposing teams just so we can get a title. So we can.
Seriously.
It actually
I'm trying to go
boggles
to that
my
parade. I'm trying to go to that parade. You kidding me?
Yeah, it actually boggles my mind how long it's been since New York's had a champion. But I mean, both baseball teams have been looking stellar so far this season. I think both have a great shot of potentially doing it. So I'm going to hold off on rooting for the Rangers right now. But I will say, with the way that Avalanche have played in these playoffs and the star power that they have and just how nasty they play, I really think that they're the favorite. No matter who goes through between the Rangers and the Lightning, Nathan McKinnon is a dog.
I also did watch them, and they absolutely decimated the Edmonton Oilers. Right, they won 4-1, and they might run through the Lightning and the Rangers, like you saying how hot they are right now. So I'm definitely excited for these finals. It's actually called. I actually just learned this. It's not called the NBA is finals. The NHL is final. It's called the final.
The finale.
Finale.
But we are not at our finale yet. You know what's coming up? We got some L's, some W's. In our own way, we like to keep it true. And some NBA going on. Stick around. Stick around. We got a little more coming up for you.
All right, everybody. And we're back. Chuck&Schup show. You know how it is. We're gonna get into our dubs and L's.
Let's
segment.
cook them up, baby.
Schup, you want to start us off? Let's get a little positive note going. So we'll start us off with a dub. Give us a quick dub, bro.
Little dub today, so I don't know. I mean, things that you don't pay attention to often in sports, college football recruiting. It's something that you see like every now and then. You're like, oh, this guy, he has a cool name. Oh, he's going to this school. Oh, he's going to Alabama again.
The coldest ever.
Well, not this time. This time he's not going to Alabama. Today, a guy named DeAndre Moore Jr. Committed to Louisville, and apparently Louisville, in college football is putting together one of its best college football classes ever, and they just recruited their best prospect in 10 years, this DeAndre Moore guy. And so I was curious, why? Why are all these people going to Louisville? And then, I'm not sure if we've talked about this before, but the NIL deals. So, the NIL
cheat codes.
The NIL deal is a cheat code, exactly. So it allows for outside recruiting for certain players, and like it allows schools basically, because they're paying them in like sneaky ways, like paying them like not through the school but through third parties to get better recruits. And I think it's an absolute dub for college football. Yeah. I mean, dub for Louisville too, but it's a dub for college football because the trend that we've been heading in since the college football playoffs started was that it was the same teams running it up every year. Even as an Ohio State fan, like it got kind of boring. Like,
blowouts.
No, like we play Indiana. Oh, it's a blowout. I remember going in college, like playing Indiana. Like I would be hyped for that game. Like we got the win. But maybe this will open up the competition a little bit more and make the sport of college football a little more like what college basketball has always been, in which, yes, there's some powerhouses, but then you get these teams that just run up with like a good senior class and make some noise in the postseason.
Hell yeah.
The next step is to expand this playoff field, or at least make the bowl season and the Big Six bowls more meaningful. But college football is actually, with this NIL deal, heading in the right direction. I'm very impressed. It's a dub.
Couldn't agree more. I definitely think they should expand it to 8 teams. 8 teams in the playoffs, correct?
Yeah. I don't see why not. They would just have to, I think they have to shorten the season by a game or something. Because you do have to keep in mind that these guys do go for school. They can't just they're not full-time NFL players, and not all of them are getting paid, at least yet. Yeah. So you have to keep that in mind. You don't want the schedule outrageous, but yeah, I think 8 should be the direction it goes. It'd be very exciting.
I totally agree. And stay in school, kids.
Yes,
I got my dub. It's gonna go to Baker Mayfield. We were talking earlier, Deshaun Watson just being an absolute fool, and fuck that guy. Good one for Baker's story. I just learned that the Browns and Baker Mayfield mutually agreed mutually agreed that Baker wouldn't attend minicamp. So you know where that is. You know where that relationship's gonna go with that. I think this is a huge dub for Baker. Baker's setting his fucking foot down, saying, "Why the fuck you signed this creep? Like I thought I was your quarterback. Why? Like I know I'm not him." But fucking A, I'm not doing what he's doing. So I give Baker huge props, and it's a huge dub.
Yes, sir.
Now, go to the L's. Take a little L. I want to give an L to my buddies up north, the good old country of Canada, because they can't win at their own sport. I don't know. I think we stole Canada. I feel like we stole Canada. Like, we stole everything from Canada, their players, and just put them on our teams and stuff. And it's 7 out of 32 teams, correct? You said 2 of them, earlier you said 2 of them are...
So we got Seattle, who's brand new, and Vegas, who's only 5 years in, and they've already made it to a Stanley Cup, which is a lot more than most Canadian teams can say recently. So
here's where the L comes in. Now... the Canadian team hasn't won a Stanley Cup final in 29 years, just today, after the Edmonton Oilers lost to the Colorado Avalanche 4-1 in the what is it, that was the West?
Or
did they go north south?
You're talking about the conferences?
Yeah.
So it's split up into 4 conferences. I believe it's something like Northeast, or I think it's just like East, South, West, North, something like that.
Okay, yeah, and then so they lost their conference finals, and 29 years Canada hasn't. That's their sport. I don't know. Maybe it's the cities. They don't generate enough revenue to buy other players, or they haven't drafted well. I don't know what. I don't know how that works in the hockey organization, but it's kind of embarrassing that their number one sport and they haven't won a Stanley Cup final since 1993, and it was the Montreal Canadiens. So.
And they've been awful for a long time. So Chuck, my L is going to coincide with the W I just talked about. So I talked about how college football, their competition, has been, it's been tight recently, but it looks like it's heading in the right direction. The sport that we don't talk too much about, but is, it's the most popular sport in the world, soccer, or football as they like to call it. Europe.
Okay, well, the world sport.
In Europe. So if you do you know who Erling Holland is? Or have you at least heard of the name?
No.
So he plays for Borussia Dortmund in Germany, or he played for Borussia Dortmund in Germany. He's a 21-year-old Dutch phenom. He's cocky. He's got everything, the makings of a superstar.
Okay.
Manchester City, the richest team in England, who have won something like 5 out of the last 6 Premier League titles, and continue to just acquire every player on the planet because they have oil money. Has acquired him for another record deal. I'm a little late to the news on this. It's like a week or 2 old, but it's not really the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
While the college football competition takes a W, the European soccer competition continues to take an L in what has been a developing theme over the past decade. So if you're not aware, it works a lot different than American sports because we have salary caps in America, and we have draft systems. So it encourages teams to, keep hunting and keep fighting because they know that if they get the right pick, they make the right signings, that anyone has a chance. Mm-hmm. It is not that way in Europe, and it continues to not be that way. A big part of it is relegation. There's huge financial ramifications if you get relegated, which means if you finish in the last 3 spots of the league, you go down to the 2nd tier. Like if the Mets came in last place if they went down to AAA.
Oh, what the fuck?
So what's happening is teams like Manchester City, they get this influx of money from this new rich oil money guy, and they can buy any player that they want. So that means they get, because of their good performance in their league, they get invited to the best competition in the world, the Champions League. And they also, they dominate every team in their domestic league, so they win all the trophies there, which leads to more money, which leads to more spending on their players, which leads to them more frequently being in these competitions, and the cycle never stops. It's going to be unfathomable ever seeing teams like them, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Liverpool, Chelsea, Bayern Munich, the classic teams.
It's like these teams are monopolies. They're basically monopolies.
Yeah.
Just taking over and they've not giving any of the smaller cities any chance to sign anybody.
They've literally, any good player for any other team gets swooped up because, they want to feed their families, they get paid these millions of dollars, of course they're going to go.
Yeah.
But it's a problem that is only going to continue to get worse. And I understand that a lot of the interest of it comes from because other sports aren't as big in those countries, but mark my words, as the NFL continues to globalize, the NBA continues to globalize, maybe even baseball, those sports are going to take over, and if it continues to go like this, where the teams at the top just keep dominating, it's just going to become not interesting, and nobody's going to watch. L for you, soccer, but I doubt you're going to listen.
I love it. I love incorporating some soccer in there. I don't have any golf stories.
Ooh,
so we're
really?
Yeah. Nah, nothing on golf. But next segment, we're gonna go into a little NBA Finals. We're gonna dissect that. Am I correct?
There's one thing I want to talk about NBA Finals. So it's 1-1 right now. It should be an entertaining series, but there's an interesting point that they're bringing up on Fox the other day, and a couple of other big, the big boys, the big boys in sports talk.
The big league boys.
Talking about Draymond Green, and I want to ask you about Draymond Green.
Okay.
So Draymond Green, he's not a scorer. He's definitely not a talented scorer. He's his whole game is just defense and getting in other people's heads. Now, and obviously it's led to a lot of success for the Warriors. I want to know from you, do you find Draymond's style of play cheap, or do you think it's genius? I mean,
in the beginning, I used to hate watching my favorite player ever, LeBron James, lose to this fucking Draymond Green guy. But as you watch the Warriors, you only can respect what that team has created and what they've done. You can only respect it. At first I was like, Draymond's annoying, fuck him. But honestly, when I played sports, you had to be a certain animal to play football. You had to become another character. Because when you play that game, it's just you, the guy next to you, and the people in front of you, and you can't hold anything back. You have to be different. And people say I'm built different. You literally have to be built different. And Draymond is built different. He has the characteristics of that guy who's also a leader, but will do anything for his teammates. He's not like you said, he doesn't score whatsoever. But I appreciate what he does for the game of basketball. He adds grit to it. He's like a Dennis Rodman type guy, a Ron Artest. I mean, even today, a Pat Bev type man. He gets onto the floor and he creates havoc and he creates everything for his teammates and he makes them better on the floor. And that's the kind of guy you want, either coming off the bench or starting the game. So what Draymond's doing and everyone's freaking out. Oh, he's in this guy's face, all that. That's the entertainment. And he even said himself, what are you gonna throw me out of the game and make the game less entertaining? Yeah, I'll get the technical foul, but I'm still gonna be who I'm gonna be. And I totally agree with him. No one's gonna go and do something and not be who you're gonna be. I'm not gonna change myself on this show just to become different. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, and I'm gonna say what I want to say. And that's exactly what I love about Draymond. And he makes the game way more entertaining.
I don't think I could possibly put it any better than that.
But he is annoying. I mean, I'll say on the low, he is annoying. But
I would hate to play against him.
Yeah, exactly.
No one would want to guard
nobody
him.
won't. No, nobody.
So I think that pretty much covers it but before we go away from NBA, Warriors still.
Yeah, I got Warriors. Fuck Boston.
Fuck
Boston. Yeah,
fuck Boston. I'm not even asking your players.
I'm sorry.
All
I
bums.
hate saying it coming out of my mouth, but
oh, bums.
Honestly, I wish both teams lost. I'm not gonna lie. I said that last show. I'm pretty sure. I want both teams to lose. But
can we get a Grizzlies final next year?
Or
something worth rooting for.
Fruitful.
Grizzlies Heat. I don't know. That'd be a lot better.
Yeah. The Heat are not bad.
Yeah. Chuck, you want to go off, King?
Oh, yeah, I do have a go off, King. I was listening today. People argue about politics and everything. I like to argue about other things that are more interesting, like food. So, again, I'd like to know, Schup, best type of fry, best French fry you've had, fast food restaurant or any type, steak fries or anything. What's the best French fry for you?
The best fries are the thicker ones with more potato in them.
Steak fries. Steak fries are good. You get a good steak fry. That's a whole ass potato, and you just have
But if you know the
12
difference,
of those.
you know the difference between Burger King's fries and McDonald's fries. I prefer the Burger King style where it's there's more juice to it, where it's McDonald's where you're literally putting cardboard around.
Yeah.
I don't know. People love McDonald's, but I've never gotten behind it.
I feel you. I'm always a Mickey D's guy, but I'll fucking go to BK. BK was my childhood, and I like those fries too. Onion rings at BK. I like to say. Now, there's two fries I want to talk about. One is the curly fry. I don't think I've ever been in an instance where I had a curly fry and I didn't like it. And then the other one is the waffle fry. Now, the waffle fry, fuck Chick-fil-A just because they hate gay people.
True, he's right.
But I fucking love their French fries. I love the waffle fries. And I feel like a piece of shit eating it sometimes, but they are so damn good. And which one would I take? Curly fry any day of the week.
Well, what about your least favorite fry? What do you eat?
Oh, least favorite fry? Actually, when I went to In-N-Out Burger in San Diego, and I thought that, like, I mean, no, well, the fries are just on the side, right? You go for the burger. Burger was good. The fries were like eating straws. It was like eating home fries, but they were dried up.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, those might be my least favorite too. I also hate the ones that are like too thick, where it's just like you're eating like apple slices.
So you don't like the steak fries? You don't?
No. I like.
Or like, are you talking
There's
about
gotta be a balance.
wedges?
There's gotta be a balance.
I feel you.
It can be. I can like a thick steak fry, but there's gotta be a balance. It can't be so.
It can't be too much potato.
I can't be just like putting a whole potato in my mouth.
Yeah, it's gotta be like exactly.
You like that? You understand?
Yeah, you can't fit it all in your mouth.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Sean Watson anymore. So you want to pass that shit back to me?
Oh yeah, let's hear it. Mine was for just stupid French fries. Let's hear yours.
Okay. So every year before the NFL season, I like to kind of ride a team's coattails that are under the radar, that not necessarily loved by the public, but can really be sneaky. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I remember telling people that the year, unfortunately, I'm talking about Philly, but the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I remember telling everybody that year that they were a Super Bowl sleeper, and I never imagined it would have gone that far. But I have a team this year, and I mentioned them a couple of weeks ago that they're a rising team, but I'm going to go full-fledged today. And I'm going to tell this camera, and I'm going to tell you that the Detroit Lions are a playoff team this year. The more that I look at this team, first of all,
I like it, but it's like, oh.
Okay,
should we do a future on it? I would love to know.
I'm already about
the future.
Their over under this year is 6.5. I would smash that. You know who? Let me run down the schedule really quick. At home Philly. Probably lose, but then they go at home Washington, at Minnesota, home versus Seattle, at New England, at Dallas, home versus Miami, Green Bay, and then at Chicago, at the Giants, Bills, versus Jacksonville, Minnesota, Jets, Carolina, Chicago, Green Bay. Now that screams at least
Chicago twice. They beat Minnesota twice. If they beat the Green Bay Packers once.
That screams at least 7 wins, so I definitely smashed you over. But Jared Goff has been given so many weapons in the offseason. They already have St. Brown and Hawkinson who are emerging.
Equinius.
Not wrong one. I'm on Rob.
I'm on Rob.
But they add Chark and Jamison Williams. Their offensive line is one of the best in the NFL, and it's been ranked by PFF as one of the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL.
They got the guy from Oregon 2 drafts ago, right? Penny? Pennis? I don't know.
Yeah, Penny Sewell. Their running game is fantastic. Behind the offensive line, and Jeff Okudah, he's coming back from injury. Their defense, their pass rush with Aiden Hutchinson now across from Trey Flowers, there's still a few holes on this team, but this is not a 6-win team.
Defense is what's gonna. It's defense.
It's defense what's gonna take it. But I'm really behind Dan Campbell. I think he's an excellent coach.
I like him too.
Anytime the team wants to play for your squad, and nobody's looking at the line right now and saying playoff teams, so they've got no pressure on them. I look at the schedule and I see a bunch of weak teams on it, and I'm a full believer in Detroit Lions this year. I know you're not gonna like it, but that's what I think.
I'm kind of leaning towards it. You know what I'm thinking? I think their division might be trash. Their division might be trash.
Packers aren't that good this year.
Yeah, they got no receivers. Defense is doesn't have like their guys anymore. And then you have the Vikings. The Vikings could be the team.
The Vikings are as mediocre as fucking I don't know.
Yeah, Cousins.
Yeah, like a McDonald's chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that shit isn't.
The Vikings are McDonald's chicken sandwich.
Shit is mediocre.
But yeah, That's my going off king. I mean,
I like that.
I don't know
like
if there's
that.
I don't know if there's much room for
I
any
kind of
more
like. I
buffoonery.
might like Lions. I might put a NFC. Should I put it on the playoffs or should I make it?
I'm putting on the
they
over.
win the division. Or you're doing the over and wins.
I'm gonna put it on the over, and I'm gonna put it on the Super Bowl because you can hedge the Super Bowl if they get far. So that's what I like to do.
And then I might put a little money on that.
I think we should ride.
Are we gonna ride Lions?
Are we gonna ride the Lions? I'm not taking the brakes off.
Put in the comments down below if we should ride Lions.
Should we ride Lions? And until next time, we are going to ride this train back to Drunkville.
Let's go, baby. This is vodka.
I'm all out of it, so that's how you can tell. Anyway,
See you next week.
take care, boys and girls.